A second time and a third time, Puna, the ox-duty ascetic, said to the Blessed One, Venerable Sir, this Senya is a naked dog-duty ascetic who does what is hard to do. He eats his food when it is thrown to the ground. He has long taken up and practiced that dog duty. What will be his destination? What will be his future course? And the Buddha said, well, Puna, since I certainly cannot persuade you when I say, enough, Puna, let that be, do not ask me that. I shall therefore answer you. Here, Puna, someone develops the dog duty fully and uninterruptedly, develops the dog habit fully and uninterruptedly, he develops the dog mind fully and uninterruptedly, he develops the dog behavior fully and uninterruptedly. Having done so on the dissolution of the body after death, he reappears in the company of dogs. But if he has such a view as this, by this virtue or observance or asceticism or holy life, else I shall become a great god or some lesser god. That is wrong view in his case. Now there are two destinations for one with wrong view, I say, hell or the animal realm. So Puna, if his dog duty succeeds, it will lead him to the company of dogs. If it fails, it will lead him to hell. I'll stop here for a moment. So that's why I see the Buddha did not want to reply. It's not very pleasant hearing reply. The Buddha says because he is practicing like a dog, everything he does is like a dog, and he's also thinking like a dog, etc. So because of that, he's likely to be reborn as a dog. But if he has the wrong view, that because of this ascetic practice, he's going up to heaven, and the Buddha says this wrong view has two consequences, either the animal realm, or if as a result of the wrong view, you do something even worse, some evil kamma, then you will go to hell. So if the dog duty succeeds, he will be reborn as a dog. If it fails, he will go to hell or the animal realm. When this was said, Senya, the naked dog duty ascetic, cried out and burst into tears. Then the Blessed One told Puna, son of the Kolians, the ox duty ascetic, Puna, I could not persuade you when I said, enough, Puna, let that be, do not ask me that. Then Senya, the naked dog duty ascetic, said, Venerable Sir, I am not crying because the Blessed One has said this about me, but because I have long taken up and practiced this dog duty. I'll stop here for a moment. So here, when Senya, the dog duty ascetic, heard that he's either going to be reborn as a dog or in the animal or in hell, then he cried out loudly. And then when the Buddha said, Puna, I asked you not to ask me that. And then Senya said, he's crying not because of what the Buddha said about his being reborn there, but because he feels he has been cheated. For so many long years, he has practiced this with the belief that he will go to heaven. It's like some people nowadays with all the wrong views. You think you join a certain religion, you go to heaven, or you have your this mark here, or you chant the Buddha's name, you go to heaven. All this, in the end, when they find out there's a wrong view, it's too late. So he's crying because he got so angry that he has been cheated for so long. He has been so foolish to believe that he will go to heaven for his practice. Remember, sir, I have confidence in the Blessed One thus. The Blessed One is capable of teaching me the Dhamma in such a way that I can abandon this ox duty, and that this Senya, the naked dog duty ascetic, can abandon that dog duty. Then Puna, listen and attend closely to what I shall say. Yes, Venerable Sir, he replied. The Blessed One said, Puna, there are 4 kinds of action proclaimed by me after realizing them for myself with direct knowledge. What are the 4? There is dark action with dark result. There is bright action with bright result. There is dark and bright action with bright and dark result. There is action that is neither dark nor bright, with neither dark nor bright result. Action that leads to the destruction of action. And what Puna is dark action with dark result. Here, someone generates an afflictive bodily volition, an afflictive verbal volition, an afflictive mental volition. Having generated an afflictive bodily volition, an afflictive verbal volition, and an afflictive mental volition, he reappears in an afflictive world. When he has reappeared in an afflictive world, afflictive contacts touch him. Being touched by afflictive contacts, he feels afflictive feelings, extremely painful, as in the case of beings in hell. Thus, a being's reappearance is due to being. One reappears through the actions one has performed. When one has reappeared, contacts touch one. Thus, I say, beings are the heirs of their actions. This is called dark action with dark result. Stop here for a moment. So here the Buddha is talking about dark action. Dark action means unwholesome bodily volition, unwholesome verbal volition, and unwholesome mental volition. That means the three evil karmas. And because of doing the three evil karmas, he's reborn in a world where he suffers. So the Buddha says being's reappearance is due to being. Being what type of person? If you behave as a certain type of being, then you're reborn as that type of being. So like in the case of the dog duty ascetic, he behaves like a dog, so he's reborn as a dog. The ox duty ascetic, behaving like an ox, will be reborn as an ox. So this is dark action with dark result. And what punna is bright action with bright result. Here someone generates an unafflictive bodily volition, an unafflictive verbal volition, an unafflictive mental volition. Having generated an unafflictive bodily volition, an unafflictive verbal volition, an unafflictive mental volition, he reappears in an unafflictive world. When he has reappeared in an unafflictive world, unafflictive contacts touch him. Being touched by unafflictive contacts, he feels unafflictive feelings, extremely pleasant, as in the case of the gods of refulgent glory. Thus a being's appearance is due to being. One reappears through the actions one has performed. When one has reappeared, contacts touch one. Thus I say, beings are the heirs of their actions. This is called bright action with bright result. Stop here for a moment. So here the Buddha is talking about someone who generates wholesome kamma, wholesome body, verbal and mental volition or karmas, and because of that, of course of not harming anyone, he reappears in a world where he's not harmed at all, and he's a very pleasant world. So this is bright action and bright result. And what punna is dark and bright action with dark and bright result. Here someone generates a bodily volition that is both afflictive and unafflictive, a verbal volition that is both afflictive and unafflictive, a mental volition that is both afflictive and unafflictive. Having generated a bodily volition, a verbal volition, a mental volition that is both afflictive and unafflictive, he reappears in the world that is both afflictive and unafflictive. When he has reappeared in the world that is both afflictive and unafflictive, both afflictive and unafflictive contacts touch him. Being touched by both afflictive and unafflictive contacts, he feels afflictive and unafflictive feelings, mingle pleasure and pain, as in the case of human beings and some gods and some beings in the lower worlds. Thus a being's reappearance is due to being. One reappears through the actions one has performed. When one has reappeared, contacts touch one. Thus I say beings are the heirs of their actions. This is called dark and bright action with dark and bright result. Stop here for a moment. So here the Buddha is talking about beings who do both wholesome and unwholesome deeds. So they are reborn in the world where they experience both pleasure and pain like human beings. Many of us human beings, we enjoy life, but at the same time, aging, sickness and death will make us suffer. And what punna is action that is neither dark nor bright, with neither dark nor bright result, action that leads to the destruction of action. Therein, the volition in abandoning the kind of action that is dark with dark result, and the volition in abandoning the kind of action that is bright with bright result, and the volition in abandoning the kind of action that is dark and bright with dark and bright result. This is called action that is neither dark nor bright, with neither dark nor bright result. Action that leads to the destruction of action. These are the four kinds of action proclaimed by me. after realizing them for myself with direct knowledge. Stop here for a moment. So this last one refers to one who practices the holy path. One who practices the holy path, they are not interested to do dark actions, unwholesome deeds. They are also not interested to do wholesome deeds like charity or mixed deeds. So this leads to the destruction of action or kamma. But Senya, the naked dog beauty ascetic, said to the Blessed One, Magnificent Venerable Sir, the Blessed One has made the Dhamma clear in many ways as though he were turning upright what had been overthrown, revealing what was hidden, showing the way to one who was lost, or holding up a lamp in the dark for those with eyesight to see forms. I go to the Blessed One for refuge, and to the Dhamma and to the Sangha of monks. I will receive the going forth under the Blessed One. I would receive the full ordination. And the Buddha said, Senya, one who formerly belonged to another sect and desires the going forth and the full ordination in this Dhamma Vinaya lives on probation for 4 months. At the end of 4 months, if the monks are satisfied with him, they give him the going forth and the full ordination to the monk state. But I recognize individual differences in this matter. Stop here for a moment. So, in the end, Punna just took refuge and became a lay follower, whereas Senya, the dog duty ascetic, decided to become a monk under the Buddha. So the Buddha told him, people who belong to other sects, when they want to ordain as a Buddhist monk, they have to live on probation for 4 months. During these 4 months, the monks will see whether he has given up all the wrong views that he had before. If he has given up all the wrong views, then only they give him the higher ordination. Otherwise, they won't give him the higher ordination. Then Senya, the naked dog duty ascetic, received the going forth under the Blessed One, and he received the full ordination. And soon, not long after his full ordination, dwelling alone, withdrawn, diligent, ardent, and resolute, the Venerable Senya, by realizing for himself with direct knowledge, here and now entered upon and abided in the supreme goal of the holy life, for the sake of which clansmen rightly go forth from the home life into homelessness. He directly knew birth is destroyed, the holy life has been lived. What had to be done has been done. There is no more coming to any state of being. And the Venerable Senya became one of the Arahants. It's the end of the sutta. So the Buddha saw that he was so sincere to receive the ordination. The Buddha straight away immediately gave him the full ordination without the 4 months probationary period. And then it's stated here, and soon, not long after his full ordination, dwelling alone, withdrawn, diligent, ardent, and resolute, the Venerable Senya, by realizing for himself with direct knowledge, here and now entered upon and abided in the supreme goal of the holy life. That means he became an Arahant. But even though here he says soon, not long after his full ordination, it's not that quick, because normally when a person becomes a monk, he has to live with a teacher for 5 years, at least 5 years, during which he learns the suttas and the Vinaya. Then after 5 years, if he knows enough sutta and Vinaya, then he is allowed to go and live alone. And when they live alone, they struggle for quite a number of years. Normally, at least 10, 20 years. So even though here it says soon, not long after his ordination, it will be 10, 20 years.